My experience with expanding the edges has been really great, mainly because I kind of felt constricted with traditional teaching, like lecturing. I mean, lecturing was good and it served its purpose. It made a comfort zone, like it kind of made a bubble. Once I learned what the teacher expected me to do, I could do just that. I could still get good grades, but it kind of let me do the bare minimum and I would still be able to get by.
It's not just a lecture class. The whole atmosphere of the room is different. It's active and alive, and people are interacting with each other and responding to the material.
With going towards the edges, I've noticed helps a lot of students with breaking out of their comfort zones.
What this did is it kind of popped the bubble.
Everything we do now is more open-ended, and he does an individual approach to every student, so every student has a chance to succeed.
So once it popped that bubble, I was able to see that I could go so much farther and I was capable of more.
As a student, you get to take control of your own learning. I feel that by doing it this way, you get more out of the students.
We took part of a class period to assess our strengths and weaknesses.
When you are surrounded by other people who can help you based on your strengths and weaknesses, and they can, you can help them too.
Just being able to draw on each other's strengths and weaknesses was really important because it made us like stronger as a whole. It was like a really positive learning environment.
Because we were together for more than just a semester, that allowed us to be comfortable with each other, and so we improved because we weren't afraid to fail in front of each other.
I was comfortable with everyone there, and we all make mistakes sometimes. I was less afraid to fail, and so that made me more willing to challenge myself.
One of the things I like the most about this different style is when Professor Kessel would teach us things before we formally learn them in the class.
I feel like this class has been helping me improve my spelling and learn words that I don't use very often.
We often learn material much sooner than the scheduled lesson plan. This enabled me to play around with concepts and sentence structures that actually interested me rather than being boxed into only what we had already learned.
It was kind of like a controlled chaos. That's the best way that I can explain it, because we still had our walls, but at the same time we were still able to get to that edge to say, well, this is where I want to go and this is how I feel that is conducive to me to learn.
We've been encouraged to look ahead at things that we will formally learn in the future.
Sometimes I feel that this class is going a little bit fast, but it kind of like forces me to learn what we've been practicing.
Another thing I appreciated about this class was custom speed.
I was able to work at my own pace. When I was ready to learn something, he would explain it to me.
Before they learn it formally, so that they're already familiar with and already comfortable using it, so it's just a matter of refining that skill later.
If we felt that we were ready, we could ask him and he would give us more advanced concepts and we would be able to play with those.
If I wasn't ready for something, he was happy to reiterate things that we had already learned in class.
So that was really cool, especially like with the tests. We were already playing with like more advanced concepts. So the tests honestly felt a little bit easier because we'd already been doing harder stuff.
It's not just saying, well, here's A, B, and C. It basically took the rubric and threw it out and said, well, instead of giving you A, B, and C, I'm going to give you W, I'm going to give you an X, I'm going to give you a B, and then we're going to put it all back together.
You put it together to say whatever it is you need to. And really when it comes down to it, learning a second language, that's what you need, is just to be able to say what you need to say when it's time, even if you haven't gone to that chapter yet.
Mr. Kessel also gave us opportunities to teach others who were on a lower level, and that in turn helped us learn, because teaching is a higher form of learning.
Interacting with each other and challenging each other because there's so much in-class work that's given and so many in-class activities that allow you to apply what you're learning while you're there in the learning environment.
I really enjoy doing in-class work. I feel like it gives me the opportunity to get to know my classmates and learn from each other.
It's so different and it's so cool, and it's so much more conducive to letting the material stick to your brain.
Teaching to the Edges was a lot more fun, more informative, and I really enjoyed it as a student because I was able to take control of my studies. I was able to take control of how I wrote, how I was able to present to the class. Personally, I like that a whole lot more.
For me personally, it's helped me to figure out different ways in order to study and work better. Like I've started reading Don Quixote in Espanol, and it has helped me to realize more about the language and to work beyond where I normally would be at this time.
Coming straight out of high school with a little bit of Spanish I knew, which was more so being able to say, can I go to the bathroom? And now I can give an entire thesis and literary analysis in Spanish.
I've gotten so much better at Spanish using learning from this style, where you are given just the tools to say what it is that you want to say.
I appreciated learning the conventional way for my beginning Spanish. However, when I got to intermediate Spanish, Professor Kessel was starting this program.
I would write extra stories or extra poems, and Mr. Kessel would look at them before class and he would correct them. That helped me understand where I was falling short and what I needed to work on.
Hopefully, in the near future, maybe this teaching style can take hold.
Teaching to the Edges created a floor that students were held responsible for, but did not limit them with a ceiling. And that's what I loved about Teaching to the Edges.
I would hope that this new Expanding the Edges program would be able to be implemented across the board for intermediate and upper level students of languages.
I've gotten so excited about this new style of learning that I want everybody to learn foreign languages this way.
Be able to be put into colleges and also into grade level schools, because I think it's a more fun way for your students to learn instead of just saying, well, here it is, this is what it is, and this is what we got.
It'll get them more excited about speaking, about learning the language. I think it should be encouraged everywhere. I really do.
That's it. Theme.